Alright gang, here's the 71 BMW 2002, which started out as a 1602. The previous owner blew that motor up, stuck a 2-liter in it, blew that one up, and I cleaned it up. New water pump, new rings, cleaned up all the cylinders. 2 of them were frozen in place like you'd cook the oil. The rod bearings are fine, and it might need a valve job, but that's easy to do later. And then there's the water pump, new water pump. I think it'll run. It should. I don't see why not. So anyway, I'm just barely putting it back in, and here's a motor mount right here. That's one motor mount, and it bolts up to the engine on 3 bolts, and it's really simple to put the engine in if that motor mount is removed from the engine, so you have more free space. And for me, I wrap the chain around the water pump and that distributor item there, distributor tower. That's the only place I could bolt it. And there's your other motor mount. This is a manual car, not a hydraulic clutch. It's a manual clutch, no hydraulics. And right here you can see that's part of the manual clutch. I pretty much make these videos more for me than anyone else, just so I can remember stuff. Yeah, so putting the motor back in was a lot easier with both motor mounts off the car, off the engine, and then just position it into place, work the spline into place on the engine, and secure it with a bolt, and then start securing all your other bolts. What I like to do is use these kind of peanut jars or peanut butter jars, and I put all my nuts and bolts in them and let them soak in a little liquid wrench or whatever, and that way I don't lose the nuts and bolts. I know where they are. They're right there in those containers. And so there it is. I've been putting this off just because it's like 100 degrees. Yesterday or the day before was 107. So now it's like 70. So it's working temperature. And I took the master cylinder off to figure out what the new one's gonna. I took it off so I can get rolling on that one next. And yeah, so that's what the guy did. He must have either ran out of oil or something, but the first 2 pistons were just frozen in place. I mean, like the oil cooked it in place. And it was a real job getting the pistons free. And I got all my parts from Auto House, Arizona. I have really good luck with them. Always send me the right stuff. Then I honed the cylinders, and like I said, the rod bearings look fine. No need to swap those out. And I'm just doing just what I have to just to get it running. I mean, I'm not going to put tons of miles on this, but and it looks rough. It's dirty. That's fine. I'm not building this to flip for money. Building this for fun, because it'll be a really reliable car. And then here's some of the linkages for the manual clutch right there. And today I told myself all I'm going to do is put the engine in. That is it. And then just stop right there, learn some more stuff, and come back. And this is my engine hoist I got at a thrift store for like $100 or $50. I think it was $100. Yeah, it was $100 on it. Yeah. So it's a nice one. I think these are like $200 at Harbor Freight. And then I always save chains. So there's my chain. And yeah, pretty cool. So I'll probably need some grill parts. And but the whole goal is just get this operational. Drive it down the road, make it go forward and stop and honk and lights, and then we'll tackle all the pretty stuff. That's easy. But there it is. That's my recommendation is the less you have on the engine, the easier it's going to fit into place. Have both the motor mounts off the engine and off the chassis, and then you can put those in after you have the engine into position. I just jockeyed this thing back and forth until it slid in, because you know that they have to go in a very specific orientation, and it fit. Put a little grease on the end of that spline tip, and it went right in. And yeah, I'm really excited. This guy, I think he was like 74. He's like almost dead, and he sold me this with like a pickup truck of parts. And yeah, it was kind of sad. What blew me away is he'd lost the title and he'd lost the keys, but he had duplicates of damn near everything. Yeah, I don't get that. The first thing I do is hide my keys and titles, and I know where they are, But and then I got a hood for this thing, but it's kind of rough. Like I said, I'm just building this to have fun. And here's an extra motor. I don't think I'm going to use that. And then there's another extra motor down there. Yeah. Now let's take a look. What else have I got? I hate sewing stuff until I'm completely done, and I don't need anything. This is a 5-speed. A guy sold me that 5-speed, and he actually delivered it, which was really cool, with an engine. And I paid him, and I was like, right on, dude. And there's a 4-speed. There's another top end. This is some sort of a AC unit. I'm not sure what it is. Don't need it. And then there's another 4-speed right there. And there's another manifold from a later car. I'm just doing mine as carbureted. That's it. Make it simple. Make it reliable. But yeah, I really hate sewing stuff that I might use later. Especially when people just don't want to pay nothing. They always want everything for free, That's kind of fucked up. Here's a front fender. I'm not going to be needing that unless I get in a wreck. Here's that motor. This is really a disaster. I gotta clean up. And then here's another door. And then there's a whole trunk full of extra parts I haven't even gotten to. I mean, this place is really a disaster. But what do you do? I'm like buried all the time. But it's that much closer. It's that much closer. I put some new tires on this thing just so I get it roll around. The tires on this thing were totally hammered. I mean hammered. So there we are. And this is a 71 motor. It is a 2002 motor. There's a stamp, I think, on this side, or yeah, I think it's on this side, and it'll say what the motor is. But yeah, so this is the tail end of it, man. Worst part next will be the brakes. I really don't like doing brakes. They're so nasty. Just nasty, nasty, nasty. Especially if you've ever done Alfa Romeo. I can't stand doing Alfa Romeo brakes, but whatever. For some people, it's real easy. Not for me. There we go, gang. That's my secrets. And I'm a nobody. I'm just a guy working on cars. But be sure to take those motor mounts off the engine, off the car, off the chassis, on both sides, and clear out as much space as you can, and that motor will slide right into place. Real simple. And put all your nuts and bolts in jars, not glass, plastic, and spray some WD-40 in there to clean them up, and there you go, man. So hopefully I'll have this fired up soon. Next process will be putting the manifold on, intake and exhaust, starter motor, and get it to start and run. And then after that, we'll do the brakes. So, pretty cool. We'll see you on the next YouTube.